So and at work and at home, life is full of change. And so my name is Amanda, along with Lauren and Sydney. We help plan Ignite with our great, amazing co-hosts from ESIP. And Ignite is all about shaking things up. And so we're gonna shake things up one more time with a group talk. We also collaborate with the NASA Applied Sciences Program, which is in its own transition to Earth Action.
And so all 7 of us work for the Earth Action Program, and it's really been a big year of change. We've changed the structure of the program, the staff, the leadership, and so as we're dealing with this change, I'm sure that you're experiencing change as well. Change, can be something like in the workplace because of COVID. It can be big things like climate change.
And I have a really great mentor right here in the audience who recommended that I read this book when I was struggling with change. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? And in the book, the characters live in a maze and they spend their entire day looking for cheese, which is actually my dream. But one day, the cheese is lost. They can't find it and they have to adapt to that change. So the book is like a self-help book. It provides this framework for how you can think about change. So we're each going to share a 30-second vignette about a change in our life following this framework. Please enjoy.
So death and taxes, have you heard it before? Made famous by Ben Franklin in 1789. He said, nothing in life is certain except for death and taxes. Now I think this is a pretty pessimistic outlook, which is exactly how I think about change. I hate it, I like routine and a plan. So maybe less famously and a little bit more hopeful was the puppet cast from the Broadway musical Avenue Q, who sang, except for death and paying taxes, anything in life is only for now.
And so one of the best ways to deal with change is to anticipate it. And sometimes this is easy, sometimes it's hard. And back in 2005, when I was making the decision to move from Southern California to New Orleans, I could anticipate a lot of change. There was gonna be differences, right? But what I didn't anticipate was that 1 week into grad school, there'd be a Category 5 hurricane aimed at the city I now lived in, and I was gonna have to evacuate. So, watching the weather forecast, I made an evacuation plan and I left, but by anticipating the change, you can make your evacuation plan.
So my first big change came as a surprise when my parents brought me to the United States with only one word in my English vocabulary, eraser. And I've been erasing and reinventing myself with every big change. So nowadays, with every bout of excitement, with every feeling of getting stuck and changing in my relationships and priorities, I don't take those for granted, because one thing has been constant: being forced into change or having somebody open the doors when I've been ready.
Are we at a tipping point? Gather the team, communicate. We understand the Earth system. We need to do more. What shall we do? Gather the team, communicate. How can we transform to lead by impact, enabled by science, enabled by data, enabled by technology, enabled by science? Gather team, communicate. Launch Earth Information Center. Launch Greenhouse Gas Center. Prepare Earth Science to Action Strategy. Will we change quickly enough?
I grew up with vinyl records and phones with dials. I grew up with Billie Jean King beating Bobby what's-his-name, and Helen Reddy screaming, "I am woman, hear me roar." And yet, in school, I was encouraged to take home ec and typing and discouraged to pursuing science. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and very proud to be a research scientist at NASA. Be the change.
The first Sunday in November is usually a very dark day for me. Literally, daylight savings time is so hard for people that enjoy things like sunlight. But this year, I changed my perspective. I decided I was going to take the Scandinavian ideology. I was going to enjoy the cozy season. So even if the sun is setting at 4:15 p.m., it's okay. I can still accomplish my big winter goals, big goals like getting 8 hours of sleep every night, and getting through my reading list, and spending lots of time indoors, cozy with family and friends in my tiny apartment. So this year, instead of feeling like a really scary thing, the first Sunday in November felt like a holiday.
I spent 43 years of change at NASA. Landsat, MODIS, VIIRS, UAVs, bispectral, multispectral, hyperspectral, AI, ML, pandemic telecommuting, virtual conferences, research, applications, partnerships, technology adoption, transition and success. Management changes, program changes, applied sciences, earth action. Be nimble, adapt, pivot, embrace change. It is inevitable. Unfurl your sail, catch the wind, and tack confidently. Time for me to unfurl my sail and see what is over the horizon. I'm excited for the change. I know I will enjoy the cheese.
So even with all the helpful frameworks that you get in a self-help book, there's still gonna be a lot of challenges with change. And so the real reason that we all came up here today is to say thank you to our leaders that have helped us work through this change, to adapt to it, to anticipate it, and then also to enjoy it. I hope you take this as an inspiration to go thank someone in your life that has helped you through a change. And I wanna thank you all for joining us for Ignite 2023. Thank you.